Hey, hey, come close. Do you want to know if he has the characteristics to be your one? Are you unsure if he should be given the title of being your future husband? You are at the right place. Come close, don't be shy. I am going to reveal and spare all the green flags that you should look out for when picking your future husband. Yes, Mr. Right doesn't exist, but a good Muslim man does. And there is a lot of good Muslim men. Stick around and stay till the end of this video because I am going to be giving you top 5 green flags that you should look out for when picking or differentiating the men from the boys. I am going to be bringing light onto the dark hole that is called a broken heart that is closed to love. And by that, I mean to all the single women out there that still think that they cannot find a right man simply because they cannot differentiate between a man, a good man who has core values, and a boy who simply needs his mother. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. I am Zaina Rams. I'm the Khalila Queen, and you probably want to subscribe to this channel by now because this will be your go-to channel for everything Muslima related self development. Join us, me and my Habibties, on this journey in celebrating, empowering, and motivating the modern Muslima. And without further distractions, let's get onto the topic at hand, which is him. If you are single, still looking, not entangled, ujaolewa, then this video is for you. Nataka uwe detective. What is a detective in Swahili? I want you to be that one. Nataka uwe detective. I want you to kagua. Be picky. This is the phase in your life where you are allowed to be picky. You have my permission to be picky. Especially if you are picky about the right things. Remember, as a Muslim woman, we are not allowed to date. Muslim men also, we are not allowed to date, especially courtship. Courting for a long period of time is not allowed in Islam. So I am telling you now, before I give you these 5 green flags, put on your detective goggles when you are going in search of these because some of them are hard to find. Habibti, I am hereby sharing my experiences as a Muslima, my experiences as a woman, my experiences as your sister, your Muslim sister. And I'm also sharing you the experiences that I have being part of married women in my life and married women as my colleagues, as my sisters. And I will also be enlightening you on the Sunnah and the Sirah of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. A lot of women are blinded. A lot of women are blinded by the words, there is no Mr. Right out there. So they fail to even try. Yes, I do agree with you that there is no Mr. Right out there. All men are the same. All men are dogs. Oops. But let me tell you something. Men come from different background, yes. Men are different, yes. All men, they have different characteristics, they have different values, they have all different morals, tarbiyah, and how they were raised since they were young, yes. But all of them have core values. All of them have core values, and I want you to take into consideration these core values that you want in a man because all of them have the right core values. But do they have the right core values that you are looking for in a man? And these are the core values that I'm going to be picking as green flags of our discussion today. The first green flag, number one, is going to be akhlaq, tarbiyah, morals. If you know me and you are not new to this channel, you are FMBAM, you are in Habibti, you have been here, we are buddies. You know that this was going to be on top of my list. Like this was going to be the first thing that I was going to speak about right here because tarbiyah, akhlaq is very important to me. You understand? But there is a lot of tarbiyah, there's a lot of morals and characteristics, okay? What I'm going to be speaking about today, the most important one today is honesty. Okay, this important akhlaq, this important characteristic, honesty, is what made Khadija radiallahu anha pick the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And who is better of an example to us than the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his sahabas and sahabiyat? Okay, so you're gonna pick a man based on his honesty because men, if you are out there and you are looking and you are watching at this video, you are looking at this video, you're watching me, remember that a woman does not look at what you say, she looks at your actions. Okay, if you have promised her to do kada wa kada, you must fulfill that kada wa kada, you must do what you say. You understand? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was al-amin as-sadiq. most trustworthy, most honest person, because whatever he would say, he will fulfill. He promised you to do this at a certain time. He will do it at the best of his ability, and that's what a man should try to do. A man should try to become an honest, trustworthy man. You understand? You are only breaking her if you are dishonest to her, and that leaves room for destruction. The moment you are dishonest to her. Green flag number two, his company. Birds of the same feathers flock together. All right. You are the company you keep. Have you all heard of those words, of all those quotes and saying? Yes. So if he is hanging around with drunkards, he's probably a private drunkard that you don't know of. If he is hanging around with people who smoke, with people who go clubbing, he probably does the same thing, or he's gonna be doing the same things in the future. You understand? So you need to be sure of the company that he keeps. Get married to someone. You are a Muslimah and you have a few days to be engaged with this person. You have the day in which you are engaged until the day which you consummate your marriage. There is a small amount of time, and we're not allowed to as Muslims, we're not allowed to court for a long period of time. That means 1 year, 2 years. We're only allowed to court for a small amount of time. So what you're gonna do if you want to find out more about your man, man's company will tell you a lot about him, too much about him. So what you're gonna do, my friend, my Habibti, you are gonna get those glasses, those detective glasses that I warned you about, that I told you you should have. You are gonna get them, and you're gonna be a detective. Okay, you have a small amount of period until you know this man. You're gonna go to his friends and you're gonna be detective about it in a halal way. You're gonna investigate this guy, because whoever his friends are, that's what he is. You're gonna go to his mother, you're gonna go to his family. This is the company that this guy keeps, and you're gonna go and find out a lot about him through this company. Now let me tell you something. A man that is gonna be a go-getter, surround himself with people who are go-getters, people who can motivate him to do good things. A man that is going to be pathetic and lay around, he's going to surround himself with jobless men. If you see your future husband with a lot of people that are jobless, tell him to run. Just saying. Number three, green flag number three is, look for a man who can easily control his ego. You need to look for a man who can easily bend over to make you comfortable. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the crowd who are very skeptical about this. They were like, all right, I'm going to explain it. There are a lot of stereotypical ideas and ways of how a man and woman should live in the household. There are a lot of stereotypical ways, like a man shouldn't cook. A woman should be the one cooking only. A man should not do house chores. A woman should only be the one to do house chores. I do understand. And there are a lot of stereotypical men out there. Okay. But sometimes the stereotype is also mixed with ego. Let me explain myself. It's not bad to be stereotypical. I do not shun people who are stereotypical. That's who you are. But as a woman, okay, as a woman, and you want to be comfortable in your marriage, look for a man who can bend over, all right? Who can take the ego and take it out of the window when he needs to do that. Like, his ego shouldn't get in the way of making you comfortable. His ego should not get in the way of you guys, being a couple. You understand? And for the men out there, if you are stereotypical, if you're the type of man that believes men shouldn't lift a finger in the house, then fine, go ahead. Get you a woman that believes in such things also, because there are women out there who do believe in such things. But if you're a woman and you're not into that particular kind of character, stereotypical and everything, you don't believe in those things and you don't want those things to be who you are, then you need to look for a man who's flexible. Okay, don't go around Jesse, Mariam. You want a man that he's gonna help you around the house. You want a man that is gonna help you with the house chores. You want a man that's gonna help you with the grocery list. And then when you're picking the right man, you're picking Mr. Habibi. You're picking someone that is stereotypical. That's not gonna work. That is just a concussion for disaster, and you don't need that. Pick a man that is aligned with your beliefs, is aligned with your values and your core values. That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not sitting here and saying to ladies and saying to women that they shouldn't do their housework, they shouldn't do their chores, they shouldn't do they shouldn't be women at home. You should be a woman at home, especially if your husband is working. You need to take care of the man. Do it because it makes him happy. Do it because it makes you happy doing it. Okay? Don't do it because you are forced to do it. All right? Do it because you want your man to feel good. He cannot come out of work and get into the kitchen and cook for you something. Do it because you want to make him feel welcome. You want to make him feel like a king. Why I say this is a green flag is that there are men out there who can do this for you, and there are men out there who cannot do this for you based on their ego. So you need to pick the right one. Phew, that was a long one, and I was very, very cringe. Green flag number 4. Find you a man who has prophetic masculine energy. Yes. For all those people that do not know what is prophetic masculine energy, is that when a man is in the room, he commands the room. The man commands attention. He is a rijal. He's a leader. Okay? I'll give you an example based on the Prophet ﷺ himself. Now, Rasulullah ﷺ, in the beginning of his prophethood, they went into the first battle. And this battle was the Battle of Badr. Now, everybody knows the story. We all learn it in madrasa, is that in that battle he commanded 313 men, 313 Muslim men, to go into battle with the enemy being 1,000 men. Imagine this type of energy. Imagine this type of commanding 313 men to go into battle and fight 1,000 men. Now, the other thing is that when he used to walk into the masjid, a lot of Sahabas used to be at his back and call. Like, they'll all be waiting. What do you want? What can we do? What can you do? It's like they all be waiting for him to command the room. But when he used to come home, when he was at home, he was more in touch with his feminine traits. Now, by feminine traits, I mean he used to be so soft with his grandkids, Hassan and Hussein. Fatima radiallahu anhu's children, who was his grandkids. So much so that in Sirah, somewhere in Sirah, we read that while he was performing Salah, Hassan and Hussein would play around him, and one of them sat on his head, and he couldn't move his head from sajda until Hassan or Hussein, he got up from the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's head, and that's when he got up from his sajda. See how much of softness that he had. He used to play around with his wife Aisha radiallahu anha. They used to be like kids because why Aisha was much younger than him. When Fatima radiallahu anha could come over to his house, he would call her, he would kiss her, he would talk to her, sit on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's lap. Now, in this all feminine traits, you wouldn't know that he's a man that could do this when he was commanding the Sahabas. See what a switch. Like, get you someone that can switch from masculine to feminine. Like, you be serious at work, like he'll get things done. He's a go-getter, he'll get things done. But when he's at home, he switches into a feminine energy where he makes you more comfortable. Like, he's a leader at work and he treats you like a queen at home. Get you someone like that. Green flag number 5. Now, I probably should put this, I should have put this green flag by number 1, but let's just get it in here. Get you a man who has taqwa. Taqwa is an Arabic word for fear of Allah. Now, let me tell you something. There's a difference between a man that wears and look like they fear Allah and a man that fears Allah. There's a difference between a man that prays 5 times Salah and a man that fears Allah. All right, he could pray 5 times Salah. He can look like a Muslim, like a proper Muslim, but does not fear Allah. Now you need to identify this trait. A man who fears Allah does everything in accordance with the will of Allah. You understand? I will write this down here, okay? Because if a man does not fear Allah, doesn't do everything in accordance with Allah, this man can burn you to the ground, and you'll be looking and be wondering, is this the man I know? Is this the man I met? You understand? So much toxic energy. A man that fears Allah doesn't have any toxic energy within him. This man could burn you to the ground if he does not fear Allah. When you meet with a man that fears Allah, you will feel it. You will understand. He he can be someone that doesn't even dress like it, but he fears Allah. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, a man who fears Allah will marry you for the sake of Allah and be with you for the sake of Allah. And when there's a misunderstanding, you will see that he will fear Allah with that misunderstanding. He won't make it into a big thing, mountain out of a molehill, like he won't do that. And if there's ideas of separation, he will separate with you, he will divorce with you, he will get talaq with you, with the fear of Allah there. It will be good. It will be, both parties will understand the divorce. Both parties are going to separate easily and peacefully. But a man who does not fear Allah,
that divorce is going to be miserable. There's a lot of people out there, they don't even speak to the other families because the divorce is so horrible. There's horrible divorces out there. This fifth green flag is probably the hardest one to identify. It's probably the hardest one to identify, like to look out for, because people do hide who they are. They hide their clothes, and they only take out their clothes when you are married to them already. And as it is, as Muslims, Muslim women, Muslim men, we are not allowed to court for so long. But I do want to give you an advice, a tip on this one is that when you feel something, when you are uncertain about something, uncertain about this man, do go ahead and ask. Go ahead and consult the elders. Seek for their advice. Seek for their consultation. Every single thing that happens to you while you're courting this guy and it feels bad within, you need to go and seek consultation. Don't feel afraid to seek advice, because what you think is not, it's not a big deal. It can be a big deal. It has been a big deal. Like only when you're married and divorced and you're sitting there and you're thinking, I did kind of sense it. I did kind of know, but I just blocked it. And that's why I say, from your big sister, from your Habibtie, from one friend to another, that you need to sit down and seek advice from your elders whenever you have something uncomfortable that happens between you and your partner. Digressing a little bit, a lot of people that have been connected based on elders, they have been together for quite a long time. A percentage of the marriages that have been connected based on elder to elder, like your mother knows your mother and they connect us, those marriages have gone a long way. And a lot of marriages that are based on love and based on, it's just a small thing, we're going to get over it, blah, blah, that's the marriages that fail. Those are my 5 green flags that you should know before you get entangled, before you get locked up, ladies. All right, be very careful. Put on your detective goggles. Last but not least, I would like to give you some of a nasiha, some little advice. You need to find somebody that can go the extra mile with you. Somebody that is gonna give you the same energy as you. Somebody that is willing to go into this with you and give everything that person got. We all know that marriage in Islam is a very, very important thing. Marriage is half of someone's deen, like half of your deen, half of your deen, half of my deen. So marriage is very important. Finding somebody that is willing to go on this journey with you through thick and thin. And remember that the first few years of this marriage is the introduction stage, is the filtration stage, where you're introducing each other to yourself. Like the ladies introducing themselves to the men is introducing themselves to the woman. You don't know each other. You haven't been with each other for quite some time, for a long time, I presume. So you're getting to know each other. You're getting to learn each other. This is also a stage where all the baddies are coming out. Okay. So in this stage is where I call the filtration stage, where we're putting a sieve and we are filtering all the baddies. Okay. We're coming into a situation where we are compromising. We are getting to know each other. Or my spouse doesn't like this. My spouse like this. Let me do what makes her happy. Let me do what makes him happy. So we are both compromising and we are also coming together and we are filtering all those bad things that we don't like. This is a stage where people bail out on you, like they are out of the window. Once they see your claws, they're out of the window. This is a stage where people are mistaken. They get mistaken, like, oh, this is how this person is. Oh, I can't live with this person. You get people like that. Going into this marriage with someone that is willing to do it, going into this marriage with someone that is willing to give it all, like is willing to stay thick and thin for you, is very, very important. Finding this core value into this person is also important. Not everybody is going to do it with you. For better and for worse, sickness and in health for you is very important. And inshallah, we are also women as Muslims. We should also be able to put the extra effort, double the effort as a man, because obviously we are women, we are homemakers. So I pray that inshallah, if you are looking for your spouse, you get the right spouse. We make dua. We are all making dua for you, and we hope that you comment down below. If there are women who are married and would like to give us the green flags that made you pick the man that you have now until today because of that thing, that green flag that got you the green light to say go. So please do comment down below and inspire and advise the future Muslimas, the modern Muslimas. That is all for me. See you again. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.